Alright, welcome back to Resident Evil, guys. That was the worst intro that I've had so far. And that includes the one where I had a critical impression. We were approaching critical mass in that one. God damn it, I keep forgetting things. I do not need these. So, we're gonna need to clear up some inventory space. And this is, of course, the fabled time that I promised in the beginning of the game, where the grenade launcher becomes our main weapon. Because we've pretty much cleared out... I want to say we've actually killed all the zombies that there are to kill here. We may have, in fact, killed our last zombie. We are, in fact, going to get introduced to a new type of enemy. One that can be very, very easily taken down by our grenade launcher. Our trusty grenade launcher. I personally don't get this. We're within an hour, I'd say, of beating this game, maybe less, depending on how well I do and if I don't fuck up. We are within, I'll say, 45 minutes of beating this game, and now, at, the 11th hour, they're going to introduce a new enemy. A new enemy which, its first introduction should be this room right here. If you leave quick enough, you'll never see it until you kind of are forced to. Here, again, you can ignore it completely. In here, there is one item that we need to get, which is over here. Which is, we need to insert that Mo disc into the Mo disc reader, which will unlock part of a lock. And over here is a battery. So, the longer we stay in this room, the quicker yep, there it is. A chimera will appear. This is a new enemy type. I suppose if you're quick enough, you can maybe push this aside and get out of here. But, it's just best to take them on. I find the chimeras will go down in usually 1 to 2 grenade rounds. But yeah, I really don't get that. I don't get why at the last minute they just decide to introduce a completely new enemy to us. I think the hunters would have sufficed here, Just throw them at you. The chimeras are no more dangerous than the hunters. They're much faster than the hunters, I'd say, but they're not more dangerous. Shotgun shells, we don't really need that. I think we're done with the shotgun at this point. Grenade, however, we are not done with. Let's combine those. 23, yeah, I'd say that's perfectly fine for what we need to do, because we're pretty much fighting chimeras from here on out. We're going to deposit that because we don't need it. We can throw it in the trash. I have to put everything together. I don't like gaps in my item box because I'm dumb. That's just one of those things that I've always done. I don't like 4 spaces in between items. I like my item boxes to be organized. But yeah, that was also the last save room that we'll ever find. This was a very quick Let's Play. This was my most efficient Resident Evil Let's Play. Mostly because I think each story is relatively short compared to, other games. This is definitely the shortest Resident Evil Let's Play I've done. Even games that I think felt shorter, like Revelations 2, went on way longer than this. This part of the game is dumb and bad. This just goes back to, I think I'm just getting old, so I don't like things that take too long, and this part takes a very long time. First up, we're going to want to clear out any enemy that could potentially do us harm. These chimeras are the worst. I don't think I very rarely get hit by a chimera. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to run all the way back to that one room where I headshotted that one zombie. Because we have like one half of like a fuel component or some nonsense. And this part is really, really dumb. As I was saying, I feel like as I've gotten older, I don't like things in video games that take a long time. I don't like boss battles that go on for too long. I don't like sections like this, what we were about to see. We're about to get some sort of, I don't know what you'd call it, but it's a form of explosive, essentially. I think it's like nitrous in some form. We can dispose of one of the Mo discs since it's on our way. Right in here, we're going to get the nitrous thing that we're getting. I don't know what this is. But essentially what we need to do is walk. We cannot run. We probably should not fire our gun. So, yeah, fuel supply capsule. Main ingredient is nonsense, and running could force it to explode, so we need to walk at the very slow speed that the characters walk in this game. This is why I suggested clearing out the zombies in this area and burning them so they don't come back as Crimson Heads, because if you have to deal with a zombie or, God forbid, a Crimson Head, you're pretty much screwed in this section. Because I think if an enemy attacks you, you got like a 50-50 shot of exploding on impact. If you shoot your gun, you've got like a 50-50 shot of exploding due to the kickback. So, you just gotta walk here, make sure you don't get hit by enemies. And that is this section in a nutshell. It's just, it's really boring. Especially if you do get rid of the enemies, it's even more boring, because then there's not even any tension. You can run, I guess I should say, you can run, but in intervals of like 3 to 5 seconds, I think. I'm sure somewhere has like actual percentages of like what shooting your gun, what percent chance you have of blowing up if you shoot your gun, or if you get hit by an enemy, but I know you can run for like maybe like 5 seconds before you have the chance of blowing up, so you could just kind of run in intermittent spurts, but I wouldn't recommend it. Just take your time, even though it takes way longer than it should. Thankfully, you don't have to cover a whole lot of distance. So get ready for this room, because this room is chock full of chimeras. Yeah, the chimeras, man, they're just such a non-issue. Throughout the game, you should be picking up grenade launcher rounds, so you should have enough to, you know, just whiz by this entire section. They go down in one hit. I have over 20... you know, grenade launcher rounds in here, that the chimeras have never been an issue for me. And hey, guess what? If you run out of grenade launcher rounds, you can use the, oh god, you can use the shotgun, which works just about as well. It might take one more shotgun shell. That one chimera only attacked me because he got above me. Is he dead? Nope. Well, he is now. So before we do anything with that, let's kill this guy. Before we do anything with that, I kind of want to get rid of all the Mo discs that are in my possession, just in case I don't know if they, like, if that triggers the end game. So I do, in fact, want to just dispose of the last Mo disc, because, as I said before, the Mo discs ensure the best ending. So we're going to insert that there. And we are golden, Ponyboy. The two things that are pretty much necessary for obtaining the best ending of the game, one of them we've already done, which is give Barry his gun back in the Lisa Trevor fight so he does not die. And the second is inserting all the MO discs into the MO disc readers, or whatever you call them. So now let's activate this. I think you could do the ammo disc stuff after, after this part, but, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry, in my opinion, and I don't know why I said sorry with a Canadian accent. So I think that started an elevator? Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of people who probably played this game for the first time that had absolutely no knowledge of what the Mo discs did. Which is kind of a beginner's trap. As far as I know, there's no indication that what the MO discs achieve, you know, is in this game. And I'm sure you wouldn't even know that you got the bad ending. So we're going to take one last trip to a save room and get our equipment and save the game, because we are going to enter into endgame, as I've said. We are going to take out our Magnum. First the Magnum ammo, then the rest of the Magnum ammo, and then the Magnum itself, because at this point the Magnum is going to be our main weapon of choice, and the acid rounds are going to kind of be our support. And while we're at it, we might as well take a bunch of first aid sprays, because we're going to need it. Because I play the end of this game pretty recklessly. Alright, now that that's out of the way, we might as well put away the ink ribbons and take that other first aid spray that we got here. Because you can never get enough first aid, really. You know what, I gotta say, I took a first aid course, and I am, or I guess was, because I think it expired at this point, I was first aid certified. I don't remember the part of the class where they told you to spray Febreze in people's faces to make them feel better, or, you know, if you get attacked with pretty deadly wounds, just smoke some weed. You know, some blue weed, some yellow weed, some red weed, some blue weed, and combine them even. I really don't remember that part of training. Where the fuck is this thing? Oh, Jesus, there it is. So, I'm just gonna check in here, see if there's another first aid spray, because who knows? It is not necessary. What do? I just open it, right? How come that didn't work? Nothing unusual. Oh, you have to look at the top? That doesn't make sense. Usually you look at it where you need to open it from. That's how, like, the books work. I don't really need that, so I'm just gonna put it away. I was hoping for a first aid spray. That's kind of like opening, like, CSGO cases or whatever game it is that you open cases in. I'll start doing streams where I open up first aid kits in Resident Evil and fake my reactions. But anyway, we're about to enter into endgame, boys.
Jill!
Barry,
You could have at least waited up for me, you know?
let's go.
Well, catch you guys in the next video, where hopefully we finish this game.